We are live. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. In this video, I will be going over the SBA EIDL Targeted Advance Reconsideration deadline. It is coming up very quickly. In fact, within a day, it is February 15th, 2022. I know this video is coming a little late for those of you who have been following me for some time. I usually come out with it earlier. I've been feeling a little sick. But now is the time to get your reconsideration in. And I'm going to show you, I'm actually going to look on my other tab that I have opened up here with some notes. And I'm going to be going over what you can do, who to email, just some qualifications, just in case maybe you don't get approved or something's happening, you're wondering why. So I'm going to cover that all in this video extensively. Again, I have a tab of notes opened that I'm going to be going into. I won't be going into the share screen as much as you've seen me in my other videos, but hang in there with me. It'll be quick and to the point. But before I get started, if you're watching me on the live, give me a hashtag live in the comments. Let me know you're here. Give me a wave too, a hello. How's your Monday going? Also, give me a hashtag replay if you are watching on the replay so I know the time interval. Now, I'm going to jump right into this. So right now is the time, again, to get your reconsideration in. February 15th is the last date. I know for many of you, you're like, well, this doesn't even apply to me. I didn't even get my application in on December 31st, 2021. What options are on the table? And if you've been watching me for a good amount of time, I've been coming out with content like this on a daily basis on this channel, on my blog, even in TikTok, guys. I go live on there and release some content. I know how ridiculous that can sound. But if you need help, all of that, you guys can follow me on this channel if you haven't already for all the updates. Now, I'm going to look into my document over here so I can let you know. Clearly, Targeted Advance Reconsideration, the deadline, February 15th. Okay, you know that they announced the deadline was on December 31st, 2021. Now, if you're one of these people who is struggling to even get considered, to even have been applying for it, then you want another option. Not all SBA loans are on the table. The EIDL, we're not even sure when it's coming back yet. There's no news. The PPP, there's the employee retention credit, which I'll leave a video to down below in the description, and you can learn about that tax credit and how it all works. Not actual business. It's not actually a business loan, but that'll be down there, so you can check that out with as well as other options on the table. But one of the fastest ways that I tell people to get a hold of me and to be able to understand what their best options are on the table, if any more, is to fill out a simple funding form. That is the fastest way for me to get a hold of you nowadays. Is down below will be a quick submission form you can fill out. I'll get it into my email. Make sure you fill it out thoroughly and be as specific. And what I will do is send an email back to you, and you'll know what your options are, what you can go and get approved for, how you can go and start an application, how it all works, breaking down the numbers for you with more of a customized and personalized approach. So make sure you guys get that. If this is uploaded later on YouTube, make sure to view it there and check it out. So some things I'm viewing here on my notes. If you believe that you do qualify for the targeted advance, right? So you can send this email to, this is going to be it. If you want to write this down, I'll try to leave it down below in a separate document, but it is targeted advance reevaluation at SBA.gov. One more time, that is, and I'll try to see if I can leave that here in the comments if you guys are watching right now. So I just put up a comment. I believe that should be it. Yeah, targeted advance reevaluation at SBA.gov. I know many people have been speaking with me. They're like, I've been trying to get my SBA EIDL, and then some people are like, I'm trying to get the targeted advance grant. I didn't even get my application in. What can I do? How can I get in touch with you? What do I need to do? What are the loan officers looking for? What's going on? What is the status of all of this? That's one way to do it, guys. I just put you guys the email, and again, I'll try to put it down below in the description. So in this email, explain clearly with applicable documents, right? Whatever you need, the documents that are asked for, why you qualify for this targeted advance. As a reminder, here are some of these advanced qualifications. Now, this is a part where if you're like, well, I put it in a reconsideration some time ago and I still haven't gotten a response back. I'll talk a little bit about this towards the end of the video, so you'll want to stick with me. But people are like, well, I applied, but I don't know why I didn't get one. And then I talk to them about the actual qualifications, this and more. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I missed out on this. That's the reason why. And a lot of you guys understand why. So if you're looking for an alternative, I'll speak about that momentarily, like I did in the beginning. But your business must have fewer than 300 employees. You must demonstrate a 30% reduction in revenue compared to the previous year. The reduction in revenue can be over an 8-week period of time starting, listen to this, March 2nd of 2020. Let's back up. You must demonstrate a 30% reduction in revenue compared to the previous year. So if there is no 30%, you have 10%, 20, 25, even 25 can get pushed. But if you're not having that 30% reduction in revenue compared to the previous year, it's just not likely happening. The reduction in revenue can be over an 8-week period of time starting on March 2nd, 2020. And you can begin. So your business must be in a low-income area. And I won't get specifically in what defines a low-income area. Maybe I'll go through that at a separate time, but in the low-income area. And then you can also call the SBA's Customer Service Center. I'm sure many of you have. It's happened with me. So it's 1-833-853-5638. Let me see if I can put this in the comments right now for you guys. So the SBA's Customer Service Center, right there in the comments, you guys can pick that up. So just a few bits more of details on the process of what's going on right now. The SBA is continuing to process all these EIDL reconsiderations. And if you haven't gotten yours in, remember, February 15th is tomorrow. Doesn't give you that much time. Make sure you put it in. The deadline to apply for targeted advanced reconsideration, the 15th, but the SBA is going to continuously processing these EIDL reconsiderations. Obviously, right? They're not going to be like, well, you submitted it tomorrow. It's all looking good. I'm sending it to everybody back on that same day. Appeals and loan increases. So let me read that again. So, but the SBA will continue to process EIDL reconsiderations, appeals, and loan increases. So if your EIDL application is denied, you have 6 months from the date of denial. Listen to this. This is probably the most common thing I get. If your EIDL application is denied, you have 6 months from the date of your denial, not the next person, not when this loan officer said, Jimmy over here or Sally got their denial, so that's when I have to begin, to request a reconsideration. And if you need help with the reconsideration and you need a done-for-you template, I'll try to leave that for you down below in the description. I made a previous video on the SBA EIDL. Sometimes I can't say the word. We all get that, right? That's commonly the word that I usually don't get right, like SBA EIDL, especially if I have something I need to say and it doesn't come out the way. But anyways, so I'll leave that video down below. You guys can pick up that free template. You guys can learn more about the SBA EIDL reconsideration, more and thorough. But that's what's to be expected. So you have 6 months from the date of denial to request a reconsideration. If you receive a denial on March 1st, 2022, for example, you have until September 1st, 2022 to request a reconsideration. No if, and, or but. Make sure you get that in, and you're well aware of this now, so go and do it. So furthermore, businesses have 2 years from the origination date, from your origination date, to request an increase. Appeals are more time sensitive, so they must be made within 30 days of the date of you being declined. So we just went from 6 months into the reconsideration, okay? We just spoke about reconsideration within 6 months. Now we're talking about an appeal, which I get, again, you should see my DMs, you should see the amount of emails and the amount of even people trying to get a hold of me by a phone call. And this is what I've been saying for a good amount of time. And the information is on the wall. I don't mind sharing it with you, but make sure you guys are following along, because these videos are very insightful, and everything that I release on this channel, you do not get anywhere else. I guarantee you that, because I get a lot of information from underwriters and lenders. I know all the juicy details for just about every industry. I've helped out people save a lot, get the right types of business funding, and so forth. So furthermore, again, you have your businesses have 2 years from their origination date to request an increase. Appeals are more time sensitive. They must be made within 30 days of the date of the decline. Below, I have a chart that I'm going to go ahead and look through and see if I can give you more information. But everything I put in here is straightforward and really what I just said. So remember this, that the longer you wait, the more likely the SBA is to run out of funds. If you know you want to request an increase, you should need to do it right away. So appeals must be made within 30 days of the date of denial. Reconsiderations within 6 months of your date of denial. And then for a loan increase, must be made within the 2 years of the date of origination, as long as there still is EIDL funds available. So that is the gist of it. Let me get on the share screen with those of you who are still watching me. I do appreciate you guys listening very carefully. That's one of the biggest traits I see in many of you, and that's what I have. I'm an introverted person. I know many of you watching are. And I tend to listen a lot more. But if you ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, right now would be the best time. As well as, you're going to reach me on email. Make sure to do that. I'll leave it down below in the description. But if you guys are looking for an alternative solution, something where you can get up to 2 million, even up to 50 million in funding. If you guys are looking for something out there that maybe isn't so much of a lump sum, but maybe you can invest in a business line of credit. Right, you guys are getting down right now because of the banks. It almost feels very suffocating because you can't get anything from them. You can't turn to your savings account. You don't have friends and family anymore that you can get help from, and it becomes more embarrassing. I know that feeling. And so one company here I know many of you have seen, I recommend, is David Allen Capital Inc. And specifically why I wanted to show you guys this in this video is they have this line of credit program. Now, this line of credit, you can get between $5,000 to $100,000. And how these work are you don't get a lump sum. Instead, you can get approved for a certain amount. Let's say you get approved for $50,000. Now, you don't have to use up all that $50,000 all up at once. Let's say you want only $10,000 because of a season. You have certain cash flow problems. You need to inject money. You need to take care of that. Emergency funds, some type of working capital, equipment. It can be used similarly to a lump sum. Now, a line of credit is a huge advantage too, because usually they come with lower interests. They're deducted weekly, sometimes monthly. And they give you that flexibility you need if your business is suffering with cash flow. And I know a lot of us who are specifically within the the field of having trouble with cash flow. A major reason why a lot of people apply for the SBA EIDL, because other types of fundings may involve too much of a high interest. So one company that I recommend here is through David Allen Capital. They've launched an amazing business line of credit program. They also can offer you up to $25,000, same day instant approval. Just look on the right side here with their Bank Breezy program. It is 11:32 a.m. as Pacific Standard Time, usually after 12, it's next day. But if you can apply before, you can get funds the same day with only $5,000 plus in monthly bank revenue, a business checking account, 6+ months in business, a 450 plus FICO credit score, insane. And then all industries are welcomed. This is what I strongly recommend. For those of you who do not have 20,000 plus per month in revenue within each of the last 3 months, I recommend a company like David Allen Capital's Bank Breezy. If you're doing 20,000 plus per month and you might want up to 25,000, you want it fast, we can get you into a more manual service, which will actually be better because we can show you better rates. If they're not interest rates, we can show you better total paybacks. So that's why I strongly recommend a company like David Allen Capital to get business funding. There are a few other ones out there, but this is one of my number one recommended places to go to. And so let me move this out of the screen. Now, that's a little bit of it. I didn't go too into detail into David Allen Capital, how they offer up to $2 million, how they can get you up to 25,000 same day instant approval, how you can get a business line of credit from 5,000 to 100,000 with as little as like a 550 FICO. Withdraw the funds when you need. I have so many people today have been applying for the business line of credit. And the more you wait, the more you're like, I need to learn the whole logistics. I need to ask every question. And at the end of the day, if the numbers don't make sense to you, all of this has been wasted. Not wasted, but it's like you can only get so much help. Your next step is to go in there and put in an application. These are soft pulls. They won't affect your credit score. They don't require any kind of collateral. If you're complaining because the interest rates are not where you want them to be, if you're asking for a daily payment that is absurd, impossible. I've spoken with some underwriters on Friday. They're like, impossible. I gave them some loan scenarios. They're like, who's asking for like, I get it. And I'm here to educate you. And I do that on this channel. I've already come out with content like that. But just to keep everything on straight, so I don't have to go off too much on a tangent, the targeted EIDL reconsideration is ending tomorrow for those of you just joining me. And I'm going to end this video with a few FAQs. Some things that people are asking are, how hard is it to get approved, not only for the SBA EIDLs, but any other type of like private lending? If you're going for any type of SBA loan, any revenue, we look at the 3 C's, and I'm writing them down here on my notepad, so just so I can, take a look to myself. So the first one we have is cash flow in no particular order. Cash flow meaning, how does your revenue look from per month to month on a yearly basis? What is the financials? And I'm not going to get into everything here on what's required, P&Ls, profit and loss, different bank balance statements, and so forth. But how does your revenue look like month to month on a yearly basis? How many deposits are going in? What type of withdrawals are you making? What's your balance left over at the end of the month, at the start of the month? What types of deposits are you making? How high of a deposit are you making? And the more, the better, usually 3+. And then we have another one like credit. With SBA type of loans, 680 usually above. If you don't have 680, you don't have the revenue, you don't have the time in business, that can disqualify you. And then another one we have is collateral. So at some points, they will ask for collateral. Not specifically, I'm talking about the EIDL Targeted Advance grant, but when you go over specific amounts, and it makes sense, they will ask for that. But you just have to understand that there are other companies out there. You don't have to go for an SBA Targeted EIDL Advance. You don't have to wait another year or whenever that's going to come out again for the PPPs. Even if you're currently waiting and you want an alternative, you're not like, oh, I don't know how long I have to wait for this. What can I go get approved for right now? Even if I don't want to take it, what can I get? I want to go see. And I have to keep your expectations, because I just spoke to an individual today. I asked them, hey, what are the expectations for your funds? What are you using them for? I need them for equipment, I need them for actual working capital. And, this is the way I have my payments set up. And I asked them, well, we have also a business line of credit, just so you know, if you want to open that up, maybe for cash flow reasons or for any other purposes. He goes, no, I don't want a line of credit. He knows what he wants. I want a lump sum. So you give me a lump sum. And then I go, well, let me get some more funding details. He didn't provide them all on email, so I had to give him a phone call. And I had to say, hey, what is the use of your funds? What is your credit score at? If your credit score is at this, then we can open up the door for this. And then we can get you 1 to 2x your monthly. We can get you maybe that 30K you're asking for because your revenue is here. And we can give you 4 to 24 months. You think you need 2+ years, not entirely. That's what our thoughts are the SBAs have set our standards up here, and we have to actually bring them down, because not everybody gets approved. And I guess that's the gold mine. But over here is also a huge opportunity for you to get funding, and you're missing out because your expectations of the interest rates not being the 3 to 8% is absurd. I get it. We don't always know what it is. So when we hear somebody tell us that we're getting a 10%, we're getting an 18%, we're getting even a 30 to 40%, we're like, but you have to look at it this way. Does the benefit of what you will be getting exceed the repayment? If so, then it makes sense. If not, you'll always be trying to find the next program, the next lender, the next set of underwriters who will look at your file differently. And I've been around the block. I've been here as a small business owner myself. I know it can be hard, it can be difficult, but I just want to make sure I set those expectations. And we'll try to leave that video where I talk about it down below in the description. But 4 to 24 months, great. If it's daily, sometimes weekly, even better. If it's daily, it's because maybe you've never proven yourself, one, and then two, the lenders don't know they're getting their money back, right? Your FICO, the payment history, the revenue, it doesn't add up. So daily doesn't mean anything bad. Yeah, it could if it's a cash flow reason, but if you're entirely like, okay, I'm fine anyways, and you're like thinking maybe cash flow will become a problem in some time in 6 months, but I'll be paid off by then, I don't even need it. It's okay. Let me get this. I'll pay it back as fast as possible. We have people who are continuously getting these types of business loans, these cash advances, who have insufficient cash flows, but they're proving themselves. And if it's insufficient cash flow, that's a problem. Is you look at these lines of credits, and a business term loan doesn't exactly take that away, because you would be paying an added interest over the time, or the duration becomes usually 50% more expensive. So in the use of the funds doesn't make sense, and the funding criteria just doesn't add up. I have a guy today who has everything in place. He just hasn't shared with me the credit score. I'm like, well, I don't know if it's a 600, it's a 700. I can't realistically give you an evaluation of what you can get if I don't know that. So if you were to give me that, revenue's high, boom, that opens your doors up. Maybe you can get a personal loan. Maybe you can get a merchant cash advance from 4 to 24 months with daily, sometimes weekly. We can get you a business term loan from 2 to 10 years with monthly payments. Maybe an SBA loan can get you approved. So it opens up doors, but if I don't know, I can't help you, and you can't help yourself. So let me quickly end on this by the fastest way to get a hold of me if you haven't already. Business contact form down below. I'll leave it when this is uploaded on the channel fully, so you guys can check that out. And if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please voice them to me. I'm here to help you. I'm not here to push you to do something you don't want to. And at the end of the day, you're here to build, grow, expand, and even get out of a tight pinch. And with all that said, you're here to educate yourself. I wouldn't be doing my job if I wasn't educating you. And just, respect and energy and time saving is what I ask for. So if you're serious about getting business funding, don't just submit a form and then forget about it all. Because if you do go somewhere else, a lot of the times they don't give you a personalized, customized approach like I do. And so you're just going to be applying to places, and you're going to try to take something you're not even sure about. All right, so that concludes everything in this video. Just gave you guys it was like pretty much one question, FAQ. I guess we'll just put one more in there. I know people have been also asking, how fast can I get approved? And then that depends on the type of service. That depends on your file, your portfolio. But usually without getting an SBA loan, we can get you approved within the same day. We can approve you and then funds deposited the same day, within a day to two of funds deposited, as much as a week. And it all depends again on the service. But that'll be everything from me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys stuck around, thank you very much. I do appreciate you guys, and I'm very grateful and humble of you all. And everybody have a great week. Again, you need help, get a hold of me. Funding form, real estate, business loan form, whichever one. And then my free content will be down below in the description. Take care, everybody.